Ando recio porque así me gusta andar, porque la vida es muy corta en realidad, pero no la van a tener tan pelada para poderme llegar.
Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to another series on G's Footage. Today we have world's famous Black China, the Georgie's 2016 Silverado, which is a full bolt-on truck. And what we're going to do to this truck on this series, which is going to be a very short series, we're going to try to maximize the NA setup. Now this truck here has been really fighting to get into the 7s. So we're going to try to help Georgie achieve that goal by maximizing his current setup. The way we're going to do that is by addressing a few things. And these are little tweaks that anybody can do at home in their backyard garage or whatnot. But we're going to address the air intake temps. We're going to try to keep them low, especially with summer coming around. I mean, these hot days are really going to kill performance, but not on this truck, because we're going to go ahead and put DEI thermal tape under the intake manifold to keep that intake manifold as cool as possible. We're going to remove the Speed Engineering long tube headers, and we're going to wrap them with DEI thermal tape to keep the engine bay nice and cool. And we're also going to put a thermostat to make sure that the cooling system is operating sooner and keeps this truck from getting hotter when we're trying to race it at the track. Because that thermostat is going to open up, we're going to program the fans to kick on a little bit earlier, and this truck's always going to run a little bit cooler than factory, right? That's going to be one thing we're going to be doing to this truck. The second thing we're going to be doing to this truck is since the intake manifold is already going to be off, we're going to go ahead and clean it up a little bit to try to get a little bit more top end power out of this truck, so it could keep pulling and making some power. And the third thing we're going to do is a new exhaust setup. So this truck's going to take a short trip to OTM Performance, where Miguelito, which you guys all may remember him by this. Gentleman's bet right here. He's gonna go pay up his 20 bucks.
$20? Get tacos. Hey, compa! Hey, give me my charger, bro. Remember my charger? Bro, this is not about you. Not everything's about you. Hold on. I'm here to pay my bet.
There you go, gentleman's rule. My man, George, there you go.
All right, Miguelito, let's go get you your charger. Come on.
What about my bet, man? I smoked your ass right now.
I gave you the sauce, bro.
Bro, I smoked you though.
I gave you the go. Come on, don't lie in front of
the losing, man.
He's gonna, you know,
gotta
hey,
know how to lose and win.
Look, he's just mad because I told him it wasn't about him.
Damn.
And you know, he's gonna go ahead and do a full 3-inch mandrel bent X-pipe exhaust system to the back. So this should free up a little bit of horsepower, especially considering the fact that his exhaust now has a few pinched areas from the local muffler shop. As you guys can see, the exhaust system in certain areas it's pinched pretty bad. As you guys can see here, it kind of reduces into like a 2.5, and then it has the mufflers. But this should be a really fun series to do. With that being said, let's switch over to Georgie and get his input on this.
Hello, YouTube. Here we are again at G's Footage. Right here, sitting in the G's Footage garage. About to get my truck worked on. I'm pretty excited. I've been running some pretty good times during the winter, and I'm trying to maintain those times in the summer. So we're doing a lot of work on my truck to make sure that, you know, the heat temperatures are on check. We've got a couple things that we bought that, you know, G's Footage is gonna show you right here.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna put under the intake manifold, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna go under the intake manifold, and that's gonna be the header wrap, right? And this is gonna be the bolts. Now, also, we would like to mention that the reason we're kind of doing all this is because we're already gonna be doing some work on this truck. Like, for example, like the bolts. See how this truck had studs? Because at one point this truck had spacers, and that's why we had these studs on there. But the studs are going to come off, and we're going to replace them with the proper bolts, since we're no longer going to use the spacers, and we're just going to take advantage of that and just wrap the bottom of it and maybe do some porting. So what do you think, George? You think this is going to propel you into the 7s?
You know, there's gonna be a couple other modifications that we're gonna make. As far as weight reduction is concerned, we're gonna remove the rear bumper and we're gonna put a roll pan in there. We're also gonna probably take out the tailgate when we race, and you know, the seats. We always make fun of the seats, right? We're gonna take out the seats, but we take out the center console and the passenger seat. That's kind of what we do as far as weight reduction is concerned. But right now, I think the truck is already making the power to be in the 7s. I think that with a better 60-foot, better, bigger tire in the back, we should be in there. And I think we should be hitting solid 7s. Like, on all honesty, I think the truck should be doing 7.8s, 7.9s, easy, all day, every day.
All right. There you guys have it. We're shooting for 7s. So one thing we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go ahead and fire this truck up, and we're gonna do a little experiment for science, and we're gonna see how hot this engine bay gets operating for, let's say, 5 minutes. And we have our thermal gun here, and we're gonna go ahead and fire it up.
Cold start.
Okay, George, so tell us a little bit about what we're doing here.
Well, we're gonna try to measure the temperature inside the engine at this moment. So we set the timer, and we've also got the ambient temperature right now, which was on here right now.
Yeah, so it's 71 degrees right now.
71 degrees. So we're gonna see in I don't know how many minutes are we gonna let it run for?
5 minutes.
So for 5 minutes, the truck is gonna run. It's probably gonna reach its normal operating temperature, and we're gonna be able to get some accurate measurements on, you know, all over the sides of where the headers are installed and all that with the laser thermometer. Hopefully with that data, we should be able to determine how much this is gonna help, you know, after. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. From my understanding, this is supposed to lower the temperatures by 50%. So we're gonna put it to the test and see what happens. It's actually advertised in the box. So to me, that's just a no-brainer, you know? Heat is the #1 enemy.
All right, guys, so we just hit 5 minutes. The truck has been idling, just standing there. And as we mentioned, it's about 71 degrees right now. So let's go ahead and shut it off and see where we're at. All right, guys, so let's check this out. First thing we're gonna check is the top part of the intake manifold, and it's about 95 degrees, right? Fahrenheit, right? 95 degrees Fahrenheit, right? Right, Georgie, you concur?
I concur, 95.3.
Okay, 95.
Gotta keep the stats
So
real.
right about right there, okay? And 95 in the middle.
Hold on 1 second.
Let's
See that? 95, yeah, 94.8.
Yeah. Going down, so
Yeah,
we gotta
going
move
down.
fast. Okay, now let's do the intake tube. It's about 100, 102.
Okay,
103.
Now do the box.
Okay, that's that. Box. 91. 91. Okay. Now we're gonna do an area by the headers, which we're just gonna point at this little bracket right here, okay? And the reason we're doing that is because we want the same thing. We're at 240.
47.
No, 230.
230.
Oh, 240.
Yeah,
What?
around there. It's varying because it's windy.
Let's see. Let me get a little
40.
closer. Trying to make it stop.
Well, we can say roughly 220 to 240, which is good enough for me. Temperature's going down, that's why.
Quick. So
Cools down pretty fast.
cools down pretty fast. So we were at 219 to 240 max, varying.
But think about it. When you're gonna make a pass, you're sitting there for 5 minutes with the engine on. You know, so
Exactly. So well over 200 for sure, right?
yeah, and it should be the same on the other side.
Okay. Let's see. All right, guys. So we're at point. Oh, I can't see, George. What is it?
156, but it's going down.
Okay.
165.
165. That's what it was earlier, right? Yeah. All right, guys. So as you guys can see here, put the the gun right here at the little bolt. We put the thermal gun on that little bolt, and we're at 164 versus using this little bracket, because it's attached to a coolant hose, so we don't want to make the test flawed. So we went ahead and tested the other side, and we don't want to test the header itself because we want to test the surrounding area and see how much of that heat gets absorbed by everything else. So this one was about 244, and then that little piece of that bolt was 165, right?
Yeah, about a minute and a half later.
Yeah, about a minute and a half later. All right, guys. So as you guys saw on our little backyard test, we got 95 degrees on the intake. We got 103 degrees on the intake tube, 91 degrees on the box, and then the header area, the left side was 244 degrees, and then by the steering column it was 165 degrees.
That was also like about a minute and a half later.
Yeah. It's a pretty cold day today. It's 71 degrees and it's very, very windy, so this thing's cooling down really quickly. But that's the ballpark of where we're at when this truck has been idling for 5 minutes. It's very important that we control this heat, because remember, these are computer controlled vehicles. Every time the air intake temps get hot and the temperatures go up, the computer automatically starts pulling timing, and this is why you run slower at the track. So we're gonna try to make this thing as efficient as possible, but this is where we're at now. Hope you guys liked the video, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe, because this is gonna be a good one. This thing's gonna go sevens, believe me.